it, Clark.
You're the guy who slates.
Yeah, I know, but you're the guy drinking.
Yeah, no, I can drink when I'm not on camera.
I'm gonna add all this stuff in.
Please do.
I like when you do that. It makes it funnier. Please slate.
All right, soon to be legends. Tommy Baldwin,
How's it going?
the take. So we're gonna be quiet for 3 seconds.
Oh.
And then Clark's gonna bring us in,
Cool.
and then we make fun of Clark.
All right, welcome to Soon to Be Legends. I'm MC Clark. On today's show, Tommy Baldwin Trio. Byron Stankus is the host. Take it away, Byron.
All right, I'm your host, Byron Stankus, soon to be legends. Thanks for coming in. We have Tommy Baldwin of the Tommy Baldwin Trio.
Yes, sir.
But we, at the interview part of this, we only have a duo, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And who's part of your trio?
Yeah, so Dorian Phelps played today.
Yeah, so
and,
we recorded the music portion first because Dorian had to go.
Yeah.
Because he's really important. He's a drummer. And apparently drummers are like the heartbeat of every band, and they're in demand.
yeah.
So he had to go to
Gotta
literally another band.
Oh yeah.
Literally
So-
every drummer I know plays in like 5 bands.
I know, that's great. So, Clark, we had a nice, clean intro. So, who else do we have with you?
My beautiful mother, Lisa Baldwin Bratwieser, playing keyboard bass as well. And,
Yes, and you know what we've got new today? We've got a camera on her today.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so usually we have people sit over there, and then I reference that they're there, and everyone has to believe me. But she not only has a mic, you can go ahead and say, Lisa, say hi.
Hello.
There you go.
I'm
She's
here.
so special.
Is she? Does she wear a helmet?
No,
Oh, not that kind of special?
no, but she has her own frame shot.
Oh, yeah, no. She's got her own shot. She's got her own single master shot there. That's pretty cool. So, and you're a musician.
Yeah, something like that.
And you guys are both musicians,
Absolutely.
right? And Lisa, I believe you also are like a musical coach of some kind.
Vocal coach.
A vocal coach. Look at that. So hopefully you're good singing. I don't know.
Which makes, I don't know, man.
So
I'll
anyway,
just try my best.
Tommy Baldwin. So when Clark said that you were coming in here, I said, oh, cool. What kind of music does he play? And he goes, oh, he plays Americana.
I did not say that.
You totally said that. So I
Deny.
literally was, yeah, you deny. I literally was like, oh, great. We're going to get a banjo and a washboard,
Oh, yeah.
and we're going to sing songs about prairies.
Well, don't forget the accordion.
Right, in the accordion, like, right? I thought that's what somebody playing the spoons or something.
oh, yeah.
And they sing songs about the open prairie and stuff. No, you melted faces back there with that
Thank you so
guitar,
much, man. Thank you very much.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That first one, you just like lit right into it. So when you guys hear it, I mean, I'm telling you, that's impressive stuff.
Thank
so
you
it's
very
cool.
much, man.
Yeah, we had fun with that, right?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had some audio stuff, but hopefully we got that worked out right.
Hey, that's part of it, man.
So
you
that's
know?
cool. So you became a musician. I read somewhere, I think it was Facebook, because that's where all real information comes from, right? Mm-hmm. Oh wait, sign up for our YouTube page, subscribe. Hit
yeah.
do all that stuff.
And Tommy's too.
Yeah, Tommy's
Oh, well,
too.
thanks.
Tommy Baldwin. So and your stuff is actually on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify,
And
Instagram,
absolutely, yeah,
Facebook,
so
iTunes.
Find that stuff. It's,
all that
it's good stuff. So,
Thanks, man.
but like I said, I read on Facebook. I think that's where I got it. That you started playing when you were about 10.
So 10 is when I got serious.
Okay.
8 is when it began. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So my friend
Gotcha.
had this guitar in his closet, and his brother had smashed it. Shout out to Derek Garrison and Austin. Love you guys. So
He smashed it on purpose.
his brother, something happened to where he smashed it or something.
No, yeah, maybe like, oh, he's cool in a rock band, or he's like,
Sibling and
clumsy,
rivalry
I'm a
or
clumsy
something.
8-year-old.
Yeah, no, I mean
It's a
it's just
weapon.
just probably saw it. And just I don't know. I actually don't even know. But anyways, I saw it in the closet, and they're playing like Halo and stuff, and I just for some reason I picked up that guitar, and it only had 3 strings on it. Half the body was missing. If you put your arm down, like it would just slide. Like it was dangerous as hell, and I just started just messing with it, and
And so I
Fell
just
in love
picked
with
up
it.
an accent. You're not from Indiana originally.
I'm totally from Indiana.
Are you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
grew up on the south
also
side.
a couple
then?
of these. Anybody
Oh,
gets
I
an
got
accent.
you. Oh,
you know
I
what
got
mean?
you. I got you. Some of that cool. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's my accent.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I
when you melt
interrupted.
No, you're
people's
fine.
faces, you melt part of your own face. too,
That's a
like-
good point. That's a good point. Right.
But,
so I
yeah.
think that's why you stayed thin.
Something like
I
that.
don't know. I just say stuff. I don't know. Hopefully it's endearing. I don't know. So yeah, so you got this crappy guitar that's in pieces with 3 strings.
Literally, and I just loved it. And are we allowed to curse here, by the way?
Yes.
Are we all,
Yeah,
are we all
yeah.
grown ups here?
We are.
So, anyways, they're like playing Halo and shit, and so I'm just fell in love with this guitar, and they're like, "It's your turn." I'm like, "Fuck that!" And like, no, I'm gonna like figure this out, and like I'm gonna literally, just bond with it.
And this is 8 years old.
Yeah, and
Nice.
so the whole time, practically the whole time I was there, Mom and Dad came pick me up, and I was like, "Well, here's your guitar back," and
He's like, I don't want this piece of crap.
and they were like, "You can just have it." I'm like, "Oh my God, I can!" Like, I can.
That's awesome.
And I got in the car, and I'll never forget when Dad saw the guitar. He looked at me and goes, "What the fuck is that?" And I go, "This is my new guitar." And he was like, "Well, okay, then cool." And you were like, "Okay, cool." And got home, brought it, and you were like, "It's time to go to sleep, whatever, to go to school the next day, or whatever." And so but he let me screw on the couch with it for like a couple more minutes, and I just remember him sitting there watching me, and he was like, "That's pretty cool." And so anyways, he had tuned it, and I was so mad because I tuned it the way I wanted to or whatever. And so
you tuned it to the way you want it to sound,
Exactly.
not the way it's supposed to go.
no, exactly.
I
Yeah,
got you.
And just to make sense of it, I guess the best I could.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
anyways, long story short,
Or long.
Oh, okay.
We got some time.
Okay. So that following Christmas, Santa brought a guitar because they let
nice.
me believe for a very long time.
With
That's
a
okay.
matching red amplifier.
Yeah, there's
So-
nothing wrong with that.
so, yeah,
Sorry, what Lisa was that?
A matching red amplifier.
Yeah.
So it was a red
Awesome.
guitar?
Red
Yeah,
guitar.
red
A
guitar
red guitar with a matching
with
red
a
amp.
red matching guitar research amp with it.
Nice.
And I remember, like, I was so excited. And so a couple months later after that, something broke on the guitar. And I was, like, heartbroken. I'm like, oh, my God, like, the guitar Santa brought me broke. And he was
Right.
like, oh, I guess we'll just have to take it back to Sam Ash.
Okay.
And I was like, I thought Santa brought it. Like, in that moment, that's on top of that, that's how I found out Santa
You didn't
brought it.
know Santa's name was Sam Ash. That's
It's
really
practically
what it was.
a couple-
Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
So, but no, man. So anyway, so I learned all by ear, and when YouTube first came out, like
Right.
I would watch YouTube, and I just would watch their hands, and would something they would play. Well, first of all, I learned how to tune, and then just watch
And
their
you're
fingers.
you're 9 at this point.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just watch their hands and what they would do, and it was a lot of heavy rock, kind of punk rock in the
Sure.
beginning.
Sure.
Loved Green Day, what I
Okay.
mean, during the whole, like. Now that everybody's having this emo night at the Vogue and
Right.
shit, I mean, like
But that was just coming out, right?
that was just in the,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And so,
Yeah, Scandinavian speed metal, whatever. Yeah, whatever you're into. Sure, I got you.
anyways, I just was really into that stuff. And so, anyways, my mom and dad saw that I was very serious about it, and like I practiced and
Right.
could play songs and do things. And so, they would take me to Sam Ash, Guitar Center sometimes to.
We're just throwing brands out all over.
Oh
the place.
yeah. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Hashtag. them all.
And so no, literally, and I fell in love with this like Angus Young looking guitar. It's called an Epiphone SG 400 or whatever.
Nice.
And it's Angus Young's like dark red cherry with the black pickguard, the horns on it. It was badass. And so I just fell in love with it. And one day after going to Guitar Center for a couple months, they just showed up in November of 2006, just surprised me. And just bought it for
Just
me.
bought it.
And
They're like,
got
we're
it.
not
With
even
their
waiting
first-
for Christmas. We ruined the Santa thing, so here you go.
Yeah, no, seriously. So
No more
so,
Santa.
yeah, so they both got a good deal, and so they were like, let's do it for him. And so, excuse me, I'll never forget being in the car screaming my head off. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God, I screamed my head off because I was so excited.
And I'm glad that we did it when we did it.
Yeah, yeah,
That
And then-
timing's perfect.
yep. And so I remember Dad saying, just him saying specifically, both of you guys really, but him going, don't ever stop playing this. You never know where it can take you, and
Right.
you never know who you meet. And I'm
That's
like
awesome.
sitting there like, okay.
Okay.
And then like,
And lucky you met us.
and there you go. Yeah,
See?
exactly.
Oh, man. So
All the
keep it
above.
up.
No,
Keep
I
it
love
up.
it.
You met us.
But as soon
I
as he
don't
was
know.
done, it was like Roadrunner, like pew, like the dust flying up, and
Right.
like I was gone. And you didn't. I was in my room 8 hours a day playing.
That's awesome.
But anyways, a month later, 6 days before Christmas, my dad died of a heart attack,
Oh man.
and sucked obviously.
Sure.
And I will never forget the words he said. And then shortly after that, we were at Marco's Steakhouse. Like I played my own. Like in that moment, I was like, oh my God, like I have to like dedicate my life to this.
Right.
And so we were at Marco's Steakhouse at 52nd and Keystone, which is no longer there anymore now.
Right.
Is it still there? Or is it?
No, it's gone. It's,
It's
out
gone.
of business.
It's gone a bit.
Dang, man.
Yeah. For our people in Australia or Germany or wherever they're listening to this,
It was a good steakhouse.
It was a good steakhouse.
Yeah.
And
It
is,
was.
It's in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We're
But anyways, long story short, I'm looking out the window. I swear to God, and I see my dad next to a dumpster. He's wearing a white sport coat with like a beige vest and khaki pants. And you know how people see your third eye?
yeah.
So when I made eye contact with him, and we're out to dinner with some friends to kind of cheer us up or whatever.
Right.
And so I made eye contact with him, and all of a sudden I felt this thing here, and all of a sudden I feel like I'm wearing headphones like this.
Right.
And this message to me said, I'm so sorry I can't be there for you. Take care of your mother, and do not ever stop playing your music.
Wow.
And like I got up and ran out and was crying and shit and was like, I just saw Dad. I saw him. I swear to God, I saw him.
Right.
And my mom was like, you just had your first real spiritual experience. And like in that moment, I'm like, I'm a believer. I'm not afraid to say it.
And you're
Like God's
10,
real
right?
in this moment. Yeah.
You're 10.
Yeah. And I'm like, God's real, heaven's real, music's real. I'm about to fucking kill this. Like I'm about to like
Right.
really dive in now. And so I did. And like I said, I was in my room 8 hours a day,
Right.
just playing and practicing and learning and trying to figure out things and you know, on top of doing school and shit. And I was like, fuck that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's important. Kids stay in school. But
And believe in Santa.
and yeah, no.
Santa is actually real.
Sure.
Different forms.
But yeah, so I mean, after that, man, it was like shit. And so when I was a teenager, so we had to move after that, and so
Yeah, life got in the way, right? With
well,
circumstances.
a whole bunch of other bullshit
Stuff.
got in the way.
Okay,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's really crazy shit. But so yeah, we moved, and I was really into like Linkin Park and like the really heavy Chris Cornell, and like that was
Sure.
our first concert she took me to,
Nice.
Project Revolution with Linkin Park, and like, you know,
I think I was at that show.
dude, it was amazing.
Project Revolution.
Yeah, oh yeah, 2007.
Yeah, I think I was there.
Yeah.
At the we call it Deer Creek. Everyone
Exactly.
else has a,
No,
whatever
exactly.
brand name it is.
I
Yeah,
know,
okay,
it changes every
it's a good
month.
show. I took my daughter. We went. It's good. Pretty cool.
It was amazing, and
Who else? There was somebody else was playing there.
Muse opened up the
Muse,
show.
Yes. I had never
Couldn't
seen Muse.
believe
I had
that.
never seen Muse. I had only heard the one song or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, oh my God. I'm not
They
even on
were
drugs and I
amazing.
enjoyed this. Like, this was awesome. Like,
He
it
didn't
was
leave
crazy.
his. He
Yeah.
didn't leave his seat. I had 3
Yeah, that-
bathroom breaks, and he didn't
I
move.
stayed there the
whole
whole glued
concert.
the whole time.
He
That's
didn't
awesome.
move.
What can I learn from this? How can I
That's
do
awesome.
this? Like
Yeah,
I'm
that was a-
going to do this.
That was a
Like,
great show.
It was the best. That was school to me. You know what I mean? It still
that's
is.
school, yeah.
And so anyways, where the hell was I going with this? But
That I don't know. I do know that you were still talking.
oh
about
no,
how
no,
you
I
had just
remember. I remember
moved.
now. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So I was really into that kind of like music and stuff. And so our neighbors, Pete, Nancy, loved them. Pete, Nancy Bergman, shout out to those guys. Family, loved them to death. He saw I was really into stuff. He was like, hey, check out some of this music. And
Right.
he gave me CDs of like Clapton and Peter Frampton.
Okay.
And Derek and the Dominoes and
Right.
Mark Knopfler and Dire Straits and all these
Hendrix.
other guys. Not yet. And so I was like, okay. And like I listened to him like, Clapton, okay, whatever. Peter Frampton was
You were
like,
yeah,
that's
with
pretty
Clapton.
cool.
You're like, his hands are too slow.
No, I mean,
Anybody? Yeah, you got the reference.
slow hands.
That's a very bad joke, so I got to mark it in.
Mark it down. Go ahead, Clark. Mark that down.
No, but so I mean, I appreciated it, and so I kind of got on YouTube again and was
Okay.
like, okay, let me look up some of these guys live
Yeah.
and stuff. And all of a sudden, I saw this video that said Stevie Ray Vaughan Voodoo Child live at Macomb. I forget how to pronounce it, but it was that show. And I will never forget the first opening riff of the wah and and I was like, what is this? And all of a sudden, they took off and he was playing, and I was like, I watched the whole thing about 3 or 4 times in
Right.
a row, all over and over. And I finally went, that is how I want to play. Like that is how I want to play guitar.
And
by the way, you crush that song when you play it.
Thank you so much, man.
yeah,
Thank
and
you.
with the cover of that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But you have a song called "Save Me,"
Yes.
and it absolutely has that vibe off of that.
Thanks, man.
Like when I heard that the first time, that Stevie Ray Vaughan came through for me, and I was like,
Thanks,
that's when I
man.
was like that I could feel that influence right away.
Thank you very much,
And that's a really
man.
good song.
Thank you so
That's,
much.
that's on your Phases album.
Yes.
That's there on from 2019.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But anyway, I just wanted
Byron
to tell you
came
that.
prepared
I was going to say
today.
shit.
Wow.
Like, dang,
He
man.
did his homework.
You know what? I thought I was looking into Americana, Clark. I didn't
Oh,
know what I
man.
was in for. And I'm like, hey, this guy really rocks. This is awesome.
Well, if you would
Thanks,
have come out
man.
to see him when I told you to come check him out,
I was out of town, man.
I know you're always out of town.
I do. I am always out of town.
It's okay.
I have a family and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
But
Tell me a
yeah.
story. So yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan just kind of did it for you.
Changed
right?
my life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, that was like everybody remembers what they were doing in the moment.
Right.
Horrible comparison, kind of like 9/11 in a way. Somebody said that the other day to me, and I was like, God, I have to use that again. So here I am. But it was like you remember where you're at, what you're doing as you're witnessing something,
Right.
and it was just one of these like core
Part-
moments
yeah.
on lock,
Yeah, I
And-
saw Inside Out, little core memory.
Yeah.
a little ball.
Absolutely,
Make you
man.
cry. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But man, I will never forget sitting there going, just the feeling in my soul I had going,
That's awesome.
I have to do this.
Right.
Like, because I relate to it so much, because I love blues because I relate to it, you
Right.
know. And, it was so weird as I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan's version of Stevie Ray Vaughan's version of Voodoo Child, then
Right.
Jimi Hendrix's version of Voodoo Child.
Right.
I was like, so that's where he got it from. And then kind of went way back to all the Blues Day, Howlin'
Right.
Wolf and Muddy Waters and, Robert Johnson and
Right.
and then kind of looking up Clapton and with their interviews, I'm going, oh my God, they get it too. And
Right.
just kind of having I don't know, without meeting somebody, you're like, you just, you know what I mean? Like that person gets it.
Right.
Like they'd be cool talking to them,
And you're doing all of this stuff basically by ear. You don't have schooling per se, right?
Correct. I cannot read music to this day.
You cannot.
I don't want to.
Me neither. And I actually
Most of the
learned
badass
something.
musicians don't read music.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
You know what I mean?
boring.
Eddie Van Halen
It's-
couldn't
it's
either.
just- it's like
It
chewing dry
distracts you from
bread.
just being awesome.
Well, it's hard because if you think about it, it also blows my mind because I have a huge respect for it.
Right.
Because back in the days of like Mozart and Beethoven and shit, and
It's the only way
here's
they
a
could
piece
do
of
it.
paper, play it, and
Right.
they can do it. I'm like, how? Like, where is the groove? Like, where? Like,
You gotta feel it, man. The
you know what I mean?
tournament's
Hell
feeling
yeah!
it.
I mean,
But I think that's I've mentioned this before with other musicians. I think that's a really important thing because I think there's a difference between people who play the notes and people who feel them.
correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think when you learn basically by memory, right? Or
Yeah.
by feel, that
Yeah.
comes through in the
When
way
I
you
close
play.
my eyes,
Yeah.
let go.
Yeah. And I think that matters because when people learn sort of just the chords and then they learn how to read music and that sort of stuff, I think a lot of that stuff sounds mechanical. As much as
Oh,
it's
yeah.
precise and
Yeah.
it's correct,
Yeah.
it just doesn't have that heart to it.
Right.
And
Your stuff
Tommy's
clearly
very
does.
soulful, man.
Correct.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
for
like-
sure.
Thank you.
Well, it's because you feel that music, man. I mean, we'll see you play. You'll see him play, but you'll see that. You're in it, man.
You have to be. If you're not in it, why are you doing it? You know what I mean? Like
I think some of them do it for I don't know, the girls.
money.
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 I don't know.
I need
And
to
if that's
learn.
the direction,
Tommy,
if that's the
can you
direction
teach
do
me
it
how to
for-
play guitar? I'm single, and it's really hard to find girls these days.
That's what Tinder's for, Clark.
I was about to say, shit. You can find an app for that. No, no, but like when it comes to guitar, though, like to me, it is such a Stratocaster to me. Okay, versus a Les Paul. So you got a Les Paul there, and the Stratocaster is the one I'm playing.
Right.
You know the difference between a Fender and a
Yeah.
Gibson and stuff. So I love single coils because I know what Stevie sounds like with the single coil. I know what Jimmy sounds like. I know
Right.
what Philip Sayce sounds like. I know what Eric Gale sounds like.
Right.
And I jumped a big Jeff Beck, who's my number one guy, and Michael Landau. How do you ever say it?
And Les Paul's weigh like 10 pounds more.
Well, but Les Paul's to me is like balls to the wall, like let's chug, man. And like to me, like Stratocasters, in my opinion, are just more soulful,
Right.
in a way because
Sure.
they make you play differently. Because with a Les Paul, it's like you can just
Right, rip
do
it.
whatever you
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And same thing with Joe Bonamassa. When he plays a Strat, I'm like all in it. Like,
Right.
dude, you're making me feel so hard. But when he plays his Les Paul, it's like he's just going. I mean, it's like, okay, cool.
But that's less soulful, right?
To me, just because it loses the.
Because some of that stuff you slow down
You
in some
know.
of your other songs that I've heard, and it has that more like that Joe Satriani feel, where it's
Ye-
more like walking through that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you're
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of feeling your way through that song, and it's got that vibe, right?
Yeah.
Where you're taking them on a journey.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool too, because you obviously can tear it up.
Yeah.
Right. But you can
And so
also
can
do
all
that
the
as well.
people who I've mentioned as well.
Correct.
But
right.
for me specifically,
But you're creating your own brand out of that, right? You're
Right.
creating your own sound. It's related to other people like that,
Yeah.
because those are your influences.
Yeah.
But you're starting to find your own thing, and it's cool.
but I just think with a Stratocaster specifically, you can just tell it's more of a identity thing for
Right.
me because
Okay.
the pickups, it's harder to play,
Right.
so it makes you work harder.
Right.
Then therefore you find your sound, who you are in that moment of playing it. Versus
Yeah.
like a Les Paul, it's like you can just turn it on and it's like you can do anything you want. And
Right.
and humbuckers always sound like other humbuckers. But that's just my opinion. And then single coils, which are the the 3 single coils
Yeah.
on a Strat. To me, it's like, I can tell when somebody's on the neck pickup.
Right.
At 12th fret on that G string, just wailing on it. Like I hear it, I know it, I can feel it, and
I have no idea.
What pickups are on your guitar? Because there's like the Tex-Mex, and then there's...
So I've got the GT11, and they're hand wound by somebody, and I couldn't even tell you. But
Come on, you can tell us.
The pickups on my other green one I've got are from a guy named Josh Vidic from Sheptone, who actually is one of my sponsors as well.
Nice.
Josh is a great guy. He also makes badass guitar strings too.
Nice.
And he just came out. Actually, he's in a bunch of stores. You can go buy him at Guitar Center in Sam Ash now.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
yeah, he's on Target's website now too. And he's killing it right now. So shout out to Josh Vidic and Sheptone. Love you guys. Seriously, thank you. Yeah, that's in my green strap, but the white one I've got, I don't know. I just finished a custom shop.
The white one's a beautiful guitar, by the way.
Thanks,
It's
man.
so
And
damn
speaking
sexy.
It's
of
for
having
sale, so
your
if you
own
want it, go for
sound.
it.
People can see you play it,
Yeah.
right? Because you just played it, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, literally,
Yeah.
we're going to see it. So
Yeah.
if you're-
What was Lisa
it's up for,
saying?
what is it, up for auction now?
Well, speaking of having your own, before we get away from that, it was weird because we were in Sam Ash, I think, yeah. And it's a big place. I was
Twisty
overlooking at audio stuff, and Tommy had wandered away, and I was looking for him, and I thought, oh, he's probably over in the guitars. Well, it was real busy that day, and there were about 7 or 8 real good musicians playing guitars, but I found him because I could hear him, and he has such a distinct sound that I was able to go over there and find out where
of
exactly
all the people
he was.
playing, you could literally hear
Right.
him. Like, yeah,
I could hear his
That's awesome.
sound,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's cool.
I know exactly.
How
where
old
he's-
was he then?
15.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm saying.
15 years
You get all
old.
those influences, and he creates
yeah.
his own brand. That's
I've been
cool.
walking
Yeah.
down the Monon, and he's been playing at 3 of them. It's like, holy shit, Tommy's playing.
That's cool.
You can though. You can really tell. He's
for
got
sure.
his own.
Thank you guys so much.
Try to find him in a pack of guitar players.
That's pretty cool, though, right?
Dang, it's
That
a
people
blessing.
Pick that
man.
out. Yeah, that's awesome.
Huge blessing, though.
So, what's new for you? What's coming up? You got anything coming up, or you got a goal? Do you have anything else? I mean, you play in this trio,
Yeah.
right? That we get to see,
Yeah.
and then you play sometimes with just your mom.
Yeah.
Right, and that
Yeah.
is Baldwin 2 Baldwin.
Yep.
Right,
Doing the jazz
and then
with the cool thing.
sometimes you
It's really
play-
your mom's band, though, right?
Practically, yeah.
Okay, so that's more of a
Kinda how we
jazz
started
deal.
out.
Yeah.
More of a jazz deal.
Yeah, I started playing actually professionally since I was 14 because rest in peace Charlie Smith, who's another amazing guitar player.
He was my guitar player who passed away.
Yeah, he passed away.
And my other one moved away.
And so
Right, and you're like, hey, I got this 14-year-old kid. Come on.
Well, I was listening to him, and I said, "Tell you what, if you can listen to the stuff I play and
learn
get
all of
through
it.
it, I will hire you and pay you whatever wage I would pay anybody to come out with me."
Yeah.
So I started paying him,
I
and
did.
we started
Nice.
gigging together.
yeah.
Union wages, right?
Well, and
It's
then
been
he
great.
was a guitarist with the adult praise and worship band, which is really quite. At 13,
Yeah.
he was playing with all these cats.
Yeah.
and every one of them
I'm forgetting all about that. God.
in their own right,
That's
fantastic
a huge part
musicians.
of that's a huge part of the blues and R&B
Yeah.
and soul and rock.
And gospel.
Gospel,
It was a
oh my
gospel
gosh.
service.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the best musicians I've ever played with, and I used to live in Los Angeles, and I've played with everybody out there too, and huge names. But people with that, you just walk into a church and you're going, "What is he like?" Keyboard players, you hear these chords that make you want to cry, and you're
Right.
like, "What is that?"
Yeah,
and-
Jatan Barnes.
Yeah.
He was a phenomenal.
oh my
keyboard
goodness,
player.
and Pavel, and God, everybody.
So you got all of that background now.
Yeah.
You're in your 20s, right?
I just turned 26.
So you just turned 26. So you've got a lot ahead of you, right? So is there a trajectory that you go, or you just kind of like letting like life happen?
I'm just trusting God, man, and
Okay.
I'm working my ass off to do what I want. But you know what I mean? Like it's really up to Him, honestly.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
And I love it all, man. I mean, I'm all about just like whatever leads to the next thing, and
Right.
I have goals, and yes, I want to. I've got a whole bunch of music, by the way, like up to 60 songs now that are like kind of.
We do music videos here, by the way. If you ever
Well, there you go.
Service.
Yeah.
All right, man.
No, not in there.
Yeah, Clark. Yeah,
Yeah.
Clark will put a team together for you. We'll come
Oh
up with
yeah.
something good.
But I've got
I've
like
shot some of those.
a pop song, a huge pop song, not a huge, but like it.
No,
it-
so these are things that you've recorded already. You've written.
So I have a full blown production studio in my house,
Okay.
and I will spend all day either trying to write something, or once I start getting something going,
Right.
like working on it, and like I am like I'll be
So
up
what
from.
have you done with these things?
So I've got a pop song, I've got a rock song, I've got all these other like different
Sure.
albums worth of stuff. Just trying to figure out where to put my finger on. I want to do all of it, but if people buy a concert ticket live
Right.
to come see me at the Vogue or at wherever, you
Right.
know what I mean, or even at just wherever.
Where? they're expecting a particular brand,
Exactly.
right? They're expecting a particular style.
And that's the difficulty of going, okay, look,
So, but is that a function of maybe like, okay, so when I do the pop stuff, right, I'm going to put a band and I'm going to call it this, and then when I do the rock stuff, I'm going to get a band and call it this, and then I'm going to.
But
do
it's
this.
all Tommy Baldwin's music, though.
Yeah.
It is all Tommy Baldwin's
know?
music, and you can still front it or play the guitar for it, right? But then you can also, I don't know, change the name, and so that when you're doing it, you can do that, and then throw, when you do a concert under the pop, Tommy Pop Band or whatever. I don't know. Then you throw in a rock. I don't
Tommy
know.
Pop Band.
Tommy Pop. I don't know.
For
I'll make up stuff
example-
for you. I
Nah.
make up stuff all the time. But I mean,
think-
I don't know. That's an idea. Just I'm throwing
Yeah,
stuff out there.
yeah.
I think
see
you
what
got to
you did.
just keep being authentic you that you are, and that's what serves you
Let's put it
best.
this way: Sting has done. He's across the board. There's many artists
Correct.
that are.
He was also in a
Prince,
band called
too.
The Police. Mm-hmm. So
and he's done it all. I mean, he's gone from smooth jazz to he's recorded all kinds
Paul
of different
McCartney the same
genres
way,
of
right?
music.
Oh, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So,
So, I
you
mean-
record this all in your own studio, and then do you send it out for somebody to master, or you do all that work yourself?
So I'd mix it as well. But I also work with Ryan Cook out of Ark Barn Productions, Ark Barn Studios, which is in Southport, Indiana. And he works with he's like the big brother I never got to have. Like,
Nice.
I love him to death. And I love Ryan so much. But he is the best mixing, mastering sound engineer I've ever heard in my life.
So maybe you just put up
Out of
Tommy
everybody.
Baldwin album and just call it eclectic and throw all that stuff out there.
Well, the
Right?
thing
'Cause
is,
it's a little bit of everything.
what I
right?
what I want to do live is like, I think it'd be cool to go from rock to pop because the really heavy like grungy stuff
Right.
that we do sometimes meets Alice in Chains versus Lenny Kravitz versus
Right.
Jimi Hendrix thing, not versus but compiled into each other.
Right.
I think it'd be cool because I play piano as well too, and I can
Sure, of
solo
course
on
you
the
do.
piano and
Sure. Of course. Why not?
anything, and kind
It's
of like
music. I'll just figure it out.
no
Yeah,
seriously.
I got a brother like that.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'll play the harmonica today. You can play the harmonica? Well,
Yeah.
Give me 15 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
and he does. I got it. Yeah.
So like
Yeah. Screw you.
I imagine
Jeez.
one day doing a really cool show, putting it together. All of a sudden, I put down the guitar and I go to piano,
Right.
and or all of a sudden, like kind of like, do you know the artist Her?
I do not.
She's amazing.
It is a she. Well, that helps.
Well, she identifies as a she, or whatever the hell
all right,
that
yeah,
means.
I
That could be confusing.
But so
I
no,
didn't know if
but
her was like an acronym or something. I guess. I
Uh-huh.
don't know.
but she's amazing. She'll go from bass to guitar to piano, like Prince
Right.
would do,
Right.
So like I have that same kind of a vision, doing the same kind of a thing that I want to
Sure.
do. But it's just hard because when you put out different albums of music,
Right.
kind of thing with like John Mayer. Like you want to hear Daughters, he's like, fuck that song. I don't want to play that anymore. Like
Right.
I want to play, I Still Feel Like Your Man, or like some blues.
Right.
Have you ever heard the record Try by John Mayer Trio?
No.
No, I've
Dude,
not heard
oh
that.
my God, are you kidding me? You have got to buy that like right
no,
now.
I'm not kidding you. I
It's
have
an-
not heard it. That's just
No, it's an amazing album.
That's cool.
It is like, it's like.
hashtag the John Mayer trio. Now.
No, seriously. I mean,
All
they're,
right,
they're
cool.
amazing. No, it's Steve Jordan, Pino Palladino, and John Mayer, and they slay it.
And
Yeah,
that
but
guy looks so cool playing guitar. He's just so easy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you?
He's like our last guitar
Well,
hero
hey,
we've got left.
Watch Tommy.
I'm
telling you, man.
I'm fully.
Oh, thanks.
Guy's
man,
on it,
but-
I've totally bought into Tommy's skills. Like,
Yeah.
Nah, but John's got this cool thing that he's got, but I feel like he's like the last like mainstream guitar hero we have. I mean, I know Bonamassa is blown up and everything like that,
Right.
But like when it comes to like household names, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like just
Well,
not,
let's put it this way. If I know him, I mean, that's pretty much it, right?
or if he's on the radio, mainstream radio,
Yeah. I don't know. Does anybody listen to radio?
what's a radio?
Well, we have some radio.
mainstream radio.
Mainstream radio.
I don't know. A lot of younger people are buying into
we'll
it.
go
So
streaming radio. How's that? I don't.
streaming
Right? Yeah, that's a thing.
that can get hairy.
It can. Absolutely.
So, in your opinion, like,
Yeah.
who's in your mind the best guitarist out there today?
Tommy
Jeff
Baldwin.
Beck would be one
Thanks for that.
in the top 5. Joe.
we've got some good ones
Bonamassa.
around here too. By the way.
Oh, absolutely.
See, I think this is a difficult question, right? Because Clark's asked this before of other folks, and it has nothing to do necessarily even with music because we've had conversations.
Yeah.
I think the problem is everybody has a different style and brings a different thing that you can learn from that
Well,
you
it's about
think
how
is
you
great,
feel.
right?
Yeah.
And at some point, like these styles or this type of music, like if you're really listening to something, you're like, oh, I think it's Angus Young, and then you're like, oh no, Satriani or something.
know
or,
it's about
or
mood,
Hendrix,
but-
but saying
your
that one is
go-to guitar, if you were going to listen to something like on the way home while you're driving down the interstate, who's your go-to?
I think, like you said, it depends on the mood, right? Or what you're looking for.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
So, okay, I'll give you 3.
I was just letting you off the hook. So go ahead.
Top 3. That's what I was
Top
trying to
3.
get.
Top
Okay, we're
3.
good. I like it. I like it.
top 3 probably plus 2.
Okay.
So Jeff Beck is, I mean, you never know when he's playing a slide or if he's using his whammy or what. And there's an album called Live Plus that's kind of hard to find. It's on YouTube, but it's like the most baddest ass, like, just rockin' record that it's blues, rock, pop, soul, R&B. I mean, it's amazing what he does in that show.
So that's one.
So Jeff Beck, Philip Sayce,
Okay.
another Stratocaster player. Philip Sayce is it's like he is Stevie Ray Vaughan on steroids, even though Stevie Ray Vaughan is like the like the grittiest, nastiest player. No, you got to hear Philip Sayce, man.
Okay.
And I know his drummer. Oh my God, Michael Leacher. That was a brain fart. Yeah,
That's
Michael
all right.
Leacher. Love Michael. He's a hell of a slammer, but we got to hang at the Baked Potato with him and at Philip and everybody, and
All right. That's 2.
it's amazing.
That's 3.
Number 3 would be Eric Gales, man, and he's a good friend of mine. But
Okay.
Eric Gales is like, you hear him and you go, "What was that?" Like,
Right.
he got a great R&B blues rock background.
And that is now for you. Is that a function of they play stuff well, or is that they're doing things that are different? And yes, there is
both.
There is a ambulance or something
ambulance.
going by.
God
We knew
bless
something.
wherever they're going.
We got Clark to turn his phone off, and then the ambulance goes by.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
an
gonna happen.
ambulance, a lawnmower.
So for the people that are on the podcast and can only hear, they're going to pick that up. So we got to.
That's all right.
We got to call it out. So
God bless
But
wherever
anyway,
the ambulance is going.
Yeah. So do you find that it's because they play it really well what they do, or do you find it you are attracted to players who are doing something that's pushing the envelope that you hadn't heard?
Both, man.
Okay. Cool.
All 3 of them are both.
Right.
They
That's
really
awesome.
are.
So not only obviously are a good mechanical player and obviously can do it, but they can evolve the guitar sound and give you something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And when they play live, they do some covers, and the way they do the covers are like totally different.
Did I just say we got Clark to shut his phone off and it just binged? That's fantastic. I
had to
love
take
it.
a picture, so.
I love it.
I love it. But
So
yeah,
sorry.
No, it's okay. And I'm gonna do 2 more if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Lindau.
Okay.
Lindau, how you say it? Him and Jeff Beck to me are like my personal favorites. But when it
Okay.
comes to like a show and like the intensity and
Right.
like what I try to do is Philip and Eric. And then number 5 is like 2003 to 2006 Joe Bonamassa.
Okay. Nice.
You know, before he got like when he was the underdog.
Okay.
And when he was hungry for it and
Right.
wanted to like prove himself, like, oh, I'm gonna be the baddest motherfucker you've ever heard on this
Right.
guitar. No, seriously, like this stuff he was doing and writing, and to me, I was just like, that's why I fell in love with him. And then he got he got big and like his music is still great, but he lost the
Fire?
intensity.
The attack.
I mean, he just I feel like he's comfortable
Do you
now.
think? Do you
and
think
he's
that's?
like,
Do you think
know.
that's a function of him, or do you think that's a function of, like you were saying before, people want to hear a particular thing? So
I think
he's
it's him.
He's now okay. He's
He
now
broke
going,
through, and then he's kind of
Settled in,
satisfied
kind of-
with where
Yeah,
he's at
and
now.
there's nothing wrong with that because he's like, I did it, and I'm comfortable, and I'll sit in my fucking
right.
chair, and I'm the king. I mean, because he kind of is on top of the blues world. No, he is. He's the
is.
world's biggest blues guitar player right now.
I
all
saw him
around the
earlier
world.
this year, front row, dude, and that dude he's got so many sexy guitars and
Oh my god, I know.
And-
Oh man, millions
playing
and
the
millions of
guitar
dollars
and
worth.
putting it into the theremin and shit, and that dude's just like doing crazy stuff still, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Isn't he a
But-
Les Paul player?
he is now, but when he played a Strat, it was unbelievable.
He's got both.
So
Yeah.
is that? Did we just find out the real difference now for you? Like when he played
Strat.
you were a fan, and now that he's a Les Paul guy, you're like maybe not so much. You think
There it
that's the
is.
change?
It's just
Like maybe he didn't sell out; he just made it easier on himself.
Yeah, I mean, a Les Paul is easier to play than a Strat 9
Right.
out of 10 times.
Okay.
And that's why I don't want to play a Les Paul. But also, I love whammy bar people, man. Like, if
Okay.
you can, Hendrix, and I mean, I love Jimi Hendrix too, but Hendrix is definitely in my top,
Well, yeah, we're gonna have like 4.5, and he's 3.7
No,
on
seriously.
my scale.
I
Yeah.
think we
Of
got
top
the
5.
5, which was
We did get the 5.
surprising because it wasn't what I expected. But that's,
That's cool.
Like,
I like
know what your
underdogs,
influences
man.
are.
I like the underdog. I like people who, Michael Thompson is another amazing guitar player who has played on every song you guys have ever heard, and he's just a studio player.
Right.
But when you go see his band live, it's unbelievable.
Right.
Like he is just so soulful, tasteful, and he's like one of those LA cats that you just would call like Lee Sklar, and anything you need, they would just be able to play it with the nuance that they give. And
Now, have you played any studio sets for other people? As like you're now talking about people that have come in.
Yeah.
So have you come in and played for other folks?
I have,
Or
yeah.
other bands that just need a guy to come in, other than your mom?
No, yeah,
Well, when you were out in L.A., you did all kinds
yeah,
of things.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in LA how long?
About 5 years.
5 years? And
Yeah,
how old
and-
were you around that time?
So I was 18,
Okay.
and I went to NAMM, and
You went to where?
NAMM, the NAMM show.
Okay.
Not Vietnam, but
I was just wanting to
NAMM.
clarify.
no,
I don't know.
and
You're a
NAMM
little
is
young
a
for that.
huge,
Okay.
huge trade show.
Okay.
For all the musicians, all the
Right.
companies, all the artists, whatever.
Sure.
And anything to do with music or microphone or anything
Right.
is the biggest trade show in the world, music trade show in the world. So I went there and went to go see Eric Gales and Tomo Fujita play at a booth inside of NAMM. And I was just
Isn't that kind of weird? You go to a convention and there's like these guys just jamming out in a booth.
well, it's cool when you know like who they are. So like
That's what I'm saying.
Tomo Fujita, yeah, exactly.
It's like you're like, oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, so Tomo was John Mayer's guitar instructor
Okay.
at Berklee School of Music on top of a plethora of other people. And Tomo is like amazing, clean guitar player, and he really likes funk. He loves
Right.
funky stuff
That's cool.
and blues, and being like articulately accurate on the guitar.
Okay.
And nailing every note and putting a soul and emotion to it. So that's why I love him. And then Eric Gales and him did a jam at the and Eric is just check out Eric Gales, you'll get it. At the Eminence booth. Eminence is a speaker company.
Okay.
So I got there like an hour early, and I was like the first person there. They all show up, they play, and they go, "Hey, we'll be back there selling CDs." So I became the first person in line to the last person in line. I'm like, "Oh shit! Well, I'll never get to meet Eric Gales now because I
Right.
wanted to meet Eric specifically because he was
Okay.
amazing. Because my drummer had just shown me PGP, which is Pinnock Gales Pridgeon. So
Okay.
Thomas Pridgeon, Eric Gales, and Doug Pinnock. And so Doug Pinnock is also in a band called King's X. And I had never heard of King's X at the time.
Okay.
And by the way, Doug Pinnock is my best friend in the whole fucking world and is like my mentor, father figure. I love him to death. Like
That's all awesome.
he absolutely is. And so when I turn around to kind of follow the line, there's Doug Pinnock sitting right next to me. I'm like,
Right.
well, that's the bass player for PGP. I could go say, hey, I gotta say
Right.
something. And I walked up and introduced myself, and hey, I play blues, and I just want to say the way you play bass.
Right.
Like I love low bass and like
Okay.
kick drum thumping,
Right.
locking in. You know what I mean? Like Jocko, that kind of style. And I don't really care for that shit. It just kind of
Right.
if play guitar if you're gonna do that. In my opinion. Sorry.
Okay.
No offense to anybody who does that. Victor Wooten. No. I'm just kidding. No, and he's amazing. I mean, literally everybody in their own right is amazing. But me personally, with a band, and you want the drums and bass and shit
Right.
to lock in, and you want to like groove
Sure.
and like feel amazing. That's why I think King's X is one of the best bands that I've ever heard in my life. After I found out who they were, and
Right.
after meeting Doug.
Doug
So anyways-
has that style.
It's
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
unbelievable, and he's
Yeah.
the lead singer, and they all do 3-part harmonies, and it's like it sounds like the Beatles meets Alice in Chains, and that's
Right.
literally what everybody called them, and they were the first band to do this before anybody. But anyways,
Right.
long story short, I'm babbling.
That's all right.
So I met
I
Doug.
can edit it. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
We try not to.
So I met Doug and kind of told him my story,
Right.
and he memorized it. So he goes, "So what are you doing here?" I go, "Well, I wanted to meet Eric, but we're in this line. I kind of just figured I'm just gonna." He goes, "Fuck this line. I'm in a band with him." And he grabbed my hand, walked up in the middle of him signing somebody's CD, and he goes, "Eric!" And he's like, "What's up, Doug?" And like they give a big hug, and he finished signing the thing, and he goes, "Hey, real quick, I just want to introduce you to my buddy Tommy." And he'd remember everything that I told him,
Right.
and kind of recited it. And he was like, "Hey man, how you doing? You want a CD?" I'm like, "Well, sure." He's like, "Okay, cool." And I gave this to you, and he just kind of gave it to me and whatever, and
Right.
and signed it to me and said, "Keep on rocking, man." So he's like, "Well, nice to meet you. I got to keep on doing this thing." Like after everybody's like sitting there watching this, waiting to have
Right.
And I just sat there and was like, this is crazy right now. And so I walked away, and Doug was like, hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. I'm like, well, I figured he was like, well, he's got to go, or he's
Right,
gone or
sure.
something. And so I kind of sat there with my buddy John Sluss, who I went with. And so I was like, well, even if that's the only thing that happens, that's cool,
Right.
whatever. And all of a sudden Doug comes back over and says, what are you guys doing for dinner? And ever since then,
Really? You took it out to dinner?
yeah, we went
Nice.
to...
Hey, Clark, we got to take him out to dinner.
No, he was like, he literally was like, so what are you doing for dinner? And I was like, nothing.
Right.
He's like, well, come hang, man, come hang.
That was cool.
And after that, we started walking down, and you know the band Living Color?
Yeah.
We're walking, and as we're going somewhere, he was like, come hang with us. And all of a sudden, Doug Wimbish, the bass player from Living Color, goes, hey, Doug. And he says some other words that I can't say. He goes, check out my bass, man. And I was like, okay. Well, he looked at me, he was like, let's go. So he pulled us up right to the front of it, and all of a sudden they just started jamming.
Right.
And all of a sudden this huge crowd came. Was like, that's Doug Wimbish and Doug Pinnick jamming on his new thing. Da, 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 da. And like, it just became cool, man. And
That's
and,
cool.
and so we've had unbelievably amazing experiences. And ever since then, he was like, well, I got to get you out here, man. He's like, come to my booth tomorrow,
Okay.
and I want to hear you play.
Okay.
So the next day I went to the booth and started playing and singing for him. He was like, we've got to get you on a project. We've got to get you on something.
Right.
And so after NAMM was over, well, I spent almost every day with him, hanging with him and just meeting
Right.
everyone. And he literally was like, just come hang, man.
Yeah,
I'll just throw
that's
you the
cool.
wolves.
That's awesome.
And it's been huge blessing to get to do that. And so after NAMM was over, my buddy John and I went and explored Los Angeles.
Right.
Explored Los Angeles. And so I had never been, so I'm like, well, let's just hit it and see
Right.
what we find. And we just kind of explored the whole day. I went to the nastiest Jack in the Box I've ever been to in my life.
Sure. They've got a couple of those. Yeah.
All
that's
of them.
awesome.
So that's why
Yeah,
they
great.
closed in Indiana, thank God. But long story short, I was like, hey man, we're on the Strip and we're at some places and stuff. He was like, hey, I can, if you're not doing anything, I can meet you tonight at the Rainbow. I was like, let's go to the Rainbow, man.
Nice.
And I ended up meeting my cousin. My cousin? Your cousin?
Our cousin.
Somebody's cousin. No.
Some
Our cousin Bryson
Yeah.
that lived in L.A.
Yeah. And so we met them all at the Rainbow and just hung with. It was the night before we had to go back to Indianapolis
Okay.
and stuff. And so hung with Doug and just talked with him and just we all just got to be knowing each other and camaraderie, and it was
Yeah.
amazing, man.
Right.
And
So did he get you on a project?
so so he was like, all right, man, well, I'll call you for something. And so gave him a big old hug. Was like, dude, great to meet you. I know we just met, but I love you, man. Like, you just got the great vibe. And it was like, you
That's
too,
awesome.
man. And so went home to Indianapolis, calls or texts me and says, hey, so I just got landed a Jimi Hendrix Experience project, and I want you to be the guitar player on it and singer as well if you want to do whatever things that we need. So got to do that, and it's out now, or it's been out for a couple of years now, and it's Doug Pinnick's Jimi Hendrix tribute, often imitated but never replicated, or never duplicated, often
Right.
imitated but never duplicated. And we got to play guitar on a couple songs and sang and did
That's so
percussion and
cool.
kazoo and shit. Like,
Really?
Oh yeah, just
He's
like
anything you got. You're like, I'll do it.
yeah,
Sure.
no, seriously. On top of playing guitar, it was fun, and so and then we did an Alan Parsons thing too. Never want to be like you. I was the guitar
Wouldn't
player.
want to be
Right.
like you.
Wouldn't want to be like
Would
you.
it be like you?
And
Was that
played
was that a project?
it was just
sorry,
a single thing.
It
And
was
just-
Alan's Parsons project.
oh,
man.
that's funny.
It was
That's funny.
This CD was a compilation
I
of
helped
songs.
out with a joke there.
Thanks, Clark. It's an old '70s reference.
I know. I love Alan Parsons.
Yeah, it was like a compilation of well-known artists.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
it was that song, and then the Guess Who, and
Right.
it was really cool. It was really cool.
Right.
So had a lot of fun doing that, man. And he took me on tour with him and the lead singer from Living Color
Okay.
as his guitar player for the encore, and I also helped sell merchandise and
Right.
help out and be a part of it, man. And so that taught me a lot. And
I bet.
Oh God, that was a lot. It was amazing though, man. Get to see the country, and
So how big was that tour?
it was almost a month long.
All right.
Yeah.
How many lake cities?
We started in Houston, Dallas, Austin, and then went all the way up to Crossroads, New Jersey.
Crossroads, New Jersey.
Yeah, but we were
Yeah.
downtown Manhattan, and the night before that we played at a place called the Cutting Room.
Okay.
Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga had just done like their jazz show, like you know how they did
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
jazz thing back in the day. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back
That's like
in the day.
15 minutes ago.
Yeah,
for
right.
Me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for you.
Has that already happened?
Yeah, but they had just played the night, so like you could just kind of feel the magic in the air, man.
Right.
It was just such a cool place, and so anyways, I lived with Doug for 5 years, and then he played bass and produced
Right.
Phases, my record.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And,
yeah, that's the one I was listening to. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and we wrote pretty much all those songs together. I'd written "Save Me" and "Working in Progress" together,
Right.
and every other song though we
Right.
wrote together.
And you had a Dark Days single release last year?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a single?
Yeah,
Drop
I was gonna do the album with it, but I just figured let's just do a single and
Yeah,
kind of see.
drop it down
I
there,
don't know,
yes.
but because that's when I had all the other music that I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. So,
Right.
but yeah. Anyways,
Maybe
like
do that. Just drop singles, man.
nobody buys records anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
Literally
it's all-
nobody
it just-
buys
it's
records
in,
anymore.
Yeah, it's in your Spotify, right, or your
Yeah.
iTunes or whatever you're gonna get it, or
Yeah.
wherever Apple Music or
Yeah,
yeah. So just do that, man.
We're all
There's nothing
getting
wrong with that.
screwed.
I'm asking for more. Is basically what I'm saying. You know,
Give
just
us
like
more, Tommy.
you know, I mean, because we can't bring you
Man.
in every week.
yeah.
You know,
Thanks,
So,
man.
but we can bring you in and do that. But ultimately, we gotta get more of that stuff. Put it on my liked list with little hearts.
Thank
and
you,
I can
man.
keep playing
Helps
it.
the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Just like we get people with our YouTube subscribing.
Exactly.
See,
Please subscribe.
Yeah. Oh, there, yeah, the voice of Clark. So that's cool.
Subscribe, please.
So that's a hell of an experience, man.
I mean, and it's still been going, and so I
It's
came
still
here,
going?
and yeah, it's still going, and came back home and had my son Everett, and
Okay.
been playing. I have 3 kids
Congratulations.
now. Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
All right.
Yeah, he's 5 now. I have a 3-year-old named August. and
Adorable looking kids,
Thank
by
you
the way.
so much.
So
And tomorrow is my 1-year birthday, Isla,
Nice.
our first daughter.
Well,
So
thanks for coming in and.
oh, absolutely. Thank
yeah,
you for having us.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's great stuff, and that stuff's still going on. Like you're still in contact with them, and you're trying to
Oh,
put projects
absolutely.
together, and
Yeah.
so there's definitely more to come. That's kind of what I
Yes.
was trying to get at earlier.
Yeah.
Was there's more to come, but we don't know exactly how it's going to work, and you're just going to kind of let life play it out,
Yeah.
so that the best opportunity will manifest.
Exactly. And, we're in talks with people to get stuff done and release stuff, but there's no promise or guarantees in life, so just go with the flow, man.
Go with the flow, and then if everybody just gets on there and starts following you, they'll whenever it drops, they'll have that stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thanks.
I'm excited for you, man.
Thank you so much.
That's so cool.
man.
We've had some old guys in. It's nice to have a young guy come in. It's like, on the way up, man.
Appreciate
You
that
know?
a lot, man.
That's awesome. I'm excited. So
Thank you.
for everybody else now, we're going to do some like editing magic and get you backstage and play, even though we've already heard it.
Perfect.
Isn't that great?
I love it.
So that's cool. Clark, you got any last words of wisdom?
Oh no, man! I'm just grateful you guys came in.
Yeah, we're definitely
You're
grateful.
amazing people.
Oh, thank you.
Fun to watch you play live, and everybody should go see the Tommy Baldwin Trio whenever
Absolutely.
possible.
Or the Baldwin to Baldwin, or just Tommy Baldwin, because those are all 3 different things that happen. Plus,
Completely different music on all of them.
All of them. And you get that opportunity to do that. That's cool. Lisa, you got anything for us?
What's that?
You got anything for us?
Oh no, I'm just.
No, you're good?
I'm just good.
Was
You're
Tommy a
just happy?
good child?
He was so easy to raise. I was
You were
very
like,
grateful.
give him a guitar. He's on his own.
Well, we used to every Wednesday night. I would take him to the music store. Then we'd go eat at a fine restaurant
Nice.
because we could, and we'd learn. I would teach a little about etiquette and how to dine at
Nice.
a fine restaurant because someday when he's a rock and roll legend,
Aw.
he'll be dining at lots of fine restaurants.
Yeah, well.
And he's such a gracious kid.
He
Hey,
is a
and-
wonderful,
That's- he is.
very
That's great.
thankful person, very humble.
And
Yes.
and the good news is he's on the soon to be legend. So this is a
Yes.
launching pad for. We are very self congratulatory sometimes. So it's good. No, seriously, thanks a lot. This has been awesome. It's good to have you in.
Thank you,
And
man.
hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Absolutely,
All right,
brother.
let's hear you rock out. But good. Thanks
Thanks,
a lot, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
What's up, everybody? We're the Tommy Baldwin Trio with you today. This song is called Inner You. Hope y'all can dig it. Thank y'all. Loved you some time ago. That was then, and this is now. Just wanted to let you know I feel it when you're around. Yes, sooner or later I'm gonna find out. Ooh, sooner or later when you sooner or later gonna find out. Ooh, sooner or later when you meant the world to me. the song was called Sooner or Later. This song is called Keep Trying. Hope y'all can dig it. Stressed out thinking that the world is everywhere. Try to run, just keep trying. Things don't go by when you jump through the hard times. Yeah, things are blinded. Keep on trying. Friends are calling me. Everyone is my intention, but I beat up, trust and thinking that the world is everywhere. Try to run, just keep trying. Things don't go by when you jump in the hard times. Yeah. Things are blinded. Keep on trying. Come on, yeah. Thanks, y'all.